Did you know that a simple 1-cent coin could potentially be worth thousands of dollars today? Imagine rummaging through your pocket change and stumbling upon a 1956 Lincoln penny that collectors are desperate to find. It may look ordinary at first glance, but if you know what to look for, it could turn out to be a hidden treasure. In this video, we're diving deep into the mysterious and valuable world of the 1956 No Liberty or No, In God We Trust Lincoln penny. Some call it an error. Others call it a myth. But for coin collectors, it's a prize. Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 1956. Dwight D. Eisenhower is president. Elvis Presley is changing the face of music. And the U.S. Mint is striking hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents. In fact, in 1956 alone, over 420 million pennies were minted in Philadelphia, and about 1.1 billion more in Denver. So what makes a single 1956 penny potentially worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars? The answer lies in the errors and variations. While most coins from 1956 are common and only worth face value, a few rare types have caught the attention of serious numismatists. The most sought after is a 1956 Lincoln penny with missing inscriptions, specifically missing the words, "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" on the front of the coin. Some of these coins appear to be missing these iconic phrases completely, or they are extremely faint due to die errors or weak strikes. Now here's where things get interesting. If you ever come across a 1956 Lincoln penny that is missing "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," don't spend it. Don't toss it in a jar. That coin might be an off-center strike, a die cap error, or a struck-through grease error, or debris or grease filled the coin die and prevented the proper design from appearing on the planchet. These minting mistakes are rare and highly collectible. So what is a 1956 Lincoln penny with these unusual characteristics worth? That depends on a few things: the condition of the coin, the specific error, and whether it has been authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. But in some recent auctions, high-grade 1956 error pennies have sold for $100 to over $5,000. And yes, we've even seen people list rare examples on coin collector sites and marketplaces for even more. Let's break it down further. A regular 1956 Lincoln penny in circulated condition, the kind you'd find in your change, is worth about 1 to 5 cents. If it's uncirculated or in mint state condition, it could fetch between 25 cents to a few dollars depending on its grade. But a 1956 penny with a genuine error, like missing design elements, off-center strikes, double dies, or die breaks, can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. For example, a 1956 D Lincoln cent with a strong double die obverse once sold for over $1,200 at auction. But here's a very important warning: there are fake or altered coins out there. Some people file off the words, polish the coin, or use chemicals to make it appear like it has a mint error. That's why it's crucial to have any unusual coin verified by a reputable grading service. They'll tell you whether the coin is a legitimate mint error or just a damaged penny. Now let's talk about how you can check your change at home. Grab a magnifying glass and a clean surface with good lighting. Look closely at every 1956 penny you find. Focus on the obverse side, that's the side with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Check if the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" are missing, faded, or shifted. Look for odd textures, missing design details, or off-center features. If anything looks unusual, take a photo, document it, and consider having it graded. You never know, you could be holding a small fortune in your hand. And here's a tip: Lincoln pennies from the 1950s are easy to find in old coin jars, inherited collections, or even at flea markets and garage sales. Some people don't know their value and might sell a rare coin for just a few cents. That's why it pays to learn about these hidden gems. So how does the market look today? As of now, in mid-2025, demand for Lincoln cents remains strong. Vintage coins from the 1950s, especially error coins, are holding their value or rising steadily. A verified 1956 penny with a genuine mint error could bring in $1.16 or much more, depending on the market and collector interest. It might not sound like a fortune, but remember, a coin like that could be just the beginning of your collecting journey. Let's wrap this up. The next time you go through your pocket change, don't ignore the pennies. That 1956 Lincoln cent might not just be a coin. It might be a conversation starter, a collector's dream, or even your ticket to the world of numismatics. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, always keep your eyes open for the rare ones, especially those 1956 No Liberty or No, In God We Trust Lincoln pennies. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts, And don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin videos and hidden treasure finds. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Imagine finding a single penny in your change jar that could make you nearly a millionaire. It sounds like a dream, but it happened. A 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark was once valued at over $956,000. Yes, one copper coin, 1 cent, almost $1 million. Let me explain why this isn't just pocket change, this is history in your hands. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever. Discover the 1941 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. How much is yours worth? What makes it special? And how can you tell if you're sitting on a gold mine? The 1941 penny was minted in 3 places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the no mint mark version means it was made in Philadelphia. Millions were produced there, so why is one worth over $950,000? Let's break it down. First, not all 1941 pennies are valuable. In fact, most are worth 1 to 10 cents, but the rare ones, the jaw dropping 6-figure ones, have something different. It could be a minting error, a double die, a unique strike, an off-center punch, or an incredibly rare high-grade example. Graded MS68 or above. MS means mint state, a grade that tells how perfect the coin is. The scale goes up to 70, and anything over 66 is considered museum quality. In 2019, one pristine 1941 no mint mark Lincoln penny graded MS68 plus red sold for over $956,000 at auction. Why? Because it was nearly flawless bright copper red, no scratches, no blemishes, an almost perfect survivor from over 80 years ago. So how do you know if your 1941 penny is worth anything? First, check the date. If it says 1941 and there's no small letter below the date, you've got a Philadelphia mint. Second, check the color. Red is best, red. Brown is next. Brown is common. Third, condition: no scratches, no wear, a shiny surface. The cleaner and sharper the coin, the more it's worth. Fourth, errors: look for doubling on the numbers or letter strikes that are off center or any unusual marks. Lastly, consider grading. Professional grading from services like PCGS or NGC can unlock the real value. Yes, it costs a little money, but it could turn your penny into a payday. So next time you're digging through your change, look twice. That 1941 penny might be more than a coin, it might be a treasure. Almost $1 million from a single cent. It's not just luck, it's knowing what to look for. If you learned something today, smash that like button, subscribe for more rare coin secrets, and remember, your fortune might already be in your pocket. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if any of those old pennies might actually be worth something today? Well, if you've got a 1948 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, you might be sitting on a small treasure. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to break down why this coin is more than just an old piece of copper and what it's really worth in today's market. At first, let's talk about what makes the 1948 Lincoln penny special. This coin features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side shows the iconic wheat ears that give it the nickname Wheat Penny. These coins were minted from 1909 all the way to 1958 before the U.S. Mint changed the reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial. Now here's the important part. If your 1948 penny has no mint mark, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. In 1948, over 317 million Lincoln pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. So in average circulated condition, the coin is not considered rare. However, certain things can make this coin worth much more than just a cent. Condition is the number one factor. A heavily circulated 1948 penny might only be worth a few cents, maybe up to 25 cents to collectors. But if you happen to have a coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it has no wear, no scratches, and all the details are crisp, the value goes up quickly. A 1948 no mint mark Lincoln penny in mint state condition, especially graded MS65 or higher, can be worth anywhere from $10 to over $50 depending on eye appeal and color. Red pennies, which retain their original coppery shine, bring in higher prices than brown or dull ones. Now here's where things get really interesting. Rare varieties or error coins from 1948 can fetch big money. Some of the most valuable 1948 Lincoln pennies are those with striking errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. If you come across a 1948 wheat penny with a visible doubling of letters or numbers, it could be a doubled die variety and potentially worth hundreds of dollars. One notable example is a 1948 doubled die obverse penny that sold at auction for over $200 because of strong doubling in the word liberty and the date. So if you think you have something unusual, it's always worth getting your coin authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. As of now, in mid-2025, the current market value for a 1948 no mint mark Lincoln penny in excellent condition can go as high as $1.3 thousand if it's a rare error coin or graded MS67 red by PCGS. These are high-end collector coins and highly sought after at coin shows and online auctions. To sum it up, the 1948 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is common in low grades, but in mint state or with the right error, it could be worth a surprising amount of money. Don't ignore your old change. It might just be your lucky day. If you've got one of these coins or you're curious about any other wheat pennies in your collection, drop a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more coin value updates and rare coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures that could be lying in your change jar right now. Today we are talking about the 1957 D Lincoln penny, a small copper coin that could be worth way more than 1 cent. You might be surprised by how much value a seemingly ordinary penny can hold. So if you have a jar of old coins or inherited a collection from a family member, listen closely. You might be sitting on something worth a lot of money. The 1957 D Lincoln penny was struck in the Denver Mint. That small d below the date signifies its origin. And in case you did not know, the Lincoln penny design has been in circulation since 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Victor David Brenner created the design, which has become one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Now, the 1957 D penny is part of what is called the Wheat Penny series. These coins have wheat stalks on the back instead of the Lincoln Memorial, which started in 1959. The Wheat Penny era spanned from 1909 to 1958, and collectors prized them for their historic significance and classic design. So what makes the 1957 D penny special? Why are people paying far more than 1 cent for it? Let us first talk about mintage. In 1957, the Denver Mint struck over 1 billion of these pennies. That is a massive number. So you might be thinking, if they made so many of them, how can they be rare? And you would be right to ask that question. The truth is, most 1957 D pennies are common in circulated condition. But there is a twist. Coin collectors are not just looking for any penny from 1957. They are searching for coins in pristine condition, coins with errors, and coins with eye-catching toning or luster. Let us break it down further. First, condition matters a lot. If your 1957 D penny is heavily worn, you are probably looking at 1 to 3 cents in value. But if the coin has sharp details, clean surfaces, and no wear, what collectors call uncirculated or mint state, the value rises quickly. A mint state 1957 D penny graded MS65 by a professional coin grading service can be worth $5 to $15 depending on demand. And it does not stop there. Coins that grade MS67 or higher are far more rare and desirable. At those levels, prices can soar. A 1957 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 red, and yes, the word red here refers to the color and shine of the original copper surface, has sold for over $1,000 at auction. Imagine finding a penny that could pay for your groceries or even your rent. That is the power of coin collecting. Now let us talk about something that can send the value through the roof. Errors. Error coins are among the hottest items in today's coin market. Collectors love them because they are unique. They come with stories and quirks that make them stand out. The 1957 D penny has several known errors. One popular type is the double die. This is when the coin's design appears doubled, especially noticeable in the date or lettering. A strong double die on a 1957 D penny can be worth hundreds of dollars or more depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Another rare and valuable error is the off-center strike. This is when the coin is not struck properly and part of the design is missing or shifted. An off-center 1957 D penny with a significant misalignment can also fetch high prices from collectors, often over $100. There are also repunched mint marks. This happens when the D under the date is stamped more than once in slightly different positions. Some of these repunched mint mark varieties are subtle, but collectors pay attention to the small details. If you have a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, it's worth taking a close look at that mint mark. So what about the current market? Right now, the general market value for a circulated 1957 D penny is around 1 to 5 cents. But uncirculated examples range from $10 to $20. MS66 and above with red surfaces can bring over $100. Error coins and high-grade pieces have sold for hundreds or even thousands depending on rarity and condition. And here is the kicker: coin prices fluctuate. Market trends shift with collector interest, economic conditions, and supply and demand. Right now, more people are getting into coin collecting than ever before. That means prices are trending upward. A coin that sold for $100 last year might go for $150 today. If you want to know the precise value of your 1957 D penny, consider having it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will assign a numerical grade and certify its authenticity. This not only tells you what the coin is worth, but also makes it easier to sell to collectors. To wrap it all up, the 1957 D Lincoln penny might not seem special at first glance. But hidden among the billions minted are coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Whether it is a stunning mint state example, a dramatic error, or a rare variety, these pennies hold more than just historical value. They can be real assets. So next time you come across an old penny, do not toss it aside. Take a closer look. You just might have a tiny piece of history that is worth a lot more than face value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin values, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny, or if you want us to cover a specific coin next. Until then, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Welcome back to the channel, where today we dive deep into the world of coins that might be sitting in your pocket or tucked away in an old drawer and are actually worth a surprising amount of money. If you're into coin collecting, history, or just want to know if you're holding onto a small treasure, then this video is for you. Today we're talking about the 1952 D Lincoln penny. That little copper coin with Abraham Lincoln's face on it might be worth more than you think. The 1952 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is why you'll see that small d mint mark right below the date. Over 746 million of these coins were produced that year, making it a common date. But here's the twist: not all of these pennies are created equal. While many are only worth a cent or maybe a few cents in circulated condition, some rare varieties and high-grade examples are selling for much more. So let's start with a little background. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1952, the wheat reverse, also known as wheat ears on the back, was still in use. These are often called wheat pennies by collectors. The obverse, or front, features Lincoln's profile with the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date with the D mint mark below. Now, let's get into the value. If you have a 1952 D Lincoln penny in average circulated condition, meaning it's been used in regular transactions and has visible wear, it's typically worth between 3 to 10 cents. That's not bad for a coin that was once only worth a penny. But if your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value jumps significantly. These are coins that were never used in circulation and still retain their original shine and detail. An uncirculated 1952D penny graded MS63 by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC can be worth anywhere from $3 to $8. If it grades higher, like MS65 or MS66, meaning it has virtually no imperfections under magnification, the value can reach $20 to $50. And here's where it gets interesting. In even higher grades, like MS67 red, the coin becomes incredibly scarce. One of these coins sold for over $1,600 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A 1952D Lincoln penny, that's a 1-cent coin, sold for over $1,600 because of its grade, its red luster, and the fact that it was preserved so well for more than 70 years. That's what collectors are willing to pay for perfection, but condition isn't the only thing that can raise the value of your coin. You'll also want to look out for errors and varieties. Some 1952D Lincoln pennies were struck with die errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These can be hard to spot unless you know what you're looking for, but they can increase the value significantly. A repunched mint mark where the D was stamped more than once can sell for $50 to $200, depending on condition. There are also rare strike-through errors, or a piece of cloth or another object got between the die and the blank planchet during minting. These are rare and can fetch hundreds of dollars from collectors looking for unusual items. So how do you know if your 1952D penny is worth big money? Step 1 is to check the condition. If the coin is shiny, crisp, and looks almost new, it might be in mint state condition. Compare it to images from grading services or consider sending it to a professional grading company. Step 2 is to look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to examine the date and mint mark closely. Check the details on Lincoln's hair, the lettering, and the wheat stalks on the back. Step 3 is to check if your coin has retained its red color. Copper coins tone over time, and many turn brown. A coin labeled red or red-brown will generally have more value than a full brown penny. And finally, Step 4, research recent auction prices. Websites like PCGS, Heritage Auctions, or eBay sold listings can give you a real-time idea of what your coin is currently worth in the market. So to wrap up, the 1952D Lincoln penny might be common in numbers, but the right condition and the right error can make it a collector's dream. Whether you're searching your coin jar, going through an inherited collection, or simply want to learn more about coin collecting, always keep an eye out for these little copper gems. That penny you ignore today might be worth hundreds, or even over $1,600 tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin updates, and let us know in the comments if you found any interesting coins in your collection. Until next time, happy collecting, and don't forget, always check your change.